What's going on, guys? NoSlack Novak back with episode 2 of Motorsport Manager. Now, in the first episode, I built the team, NoSlack Racing. We hired a few people. As you guys can see, we have Andre Gomez and Faith Anthony over here. That's why I said Anthony. Those are our drivers. We have a couple of other people on the team, lead designer, 2 mechanics. They're all pretty solid. The only person that I'm really not all that happy with is my reserve driver, which, to be honest with you, not really all that important. We're not going to be using him unless, for some reason, one of our other drivers has some sort of a crazy accident or something like that. Anyways, what we're going to do, race 2 of the season, which, as you guys can see here, is in 23 days, the Munich Grand Prix. However, our vehicle isn't all that great. So what we're doing is we're trying to improve it. We're designing an engine here that's going to take almost 2 weeks to get done. It will be done in time for the race, and then we're going to have about 10 days to enhance its performance. You know what, I don't think we're going to worry about the performance as much as the reliability, just because it is going to be the best engine. Automatically, once it's built, it will guarantee to be the best engine that we have. It's just going to be a matter of actually getting the reliability up. For now, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the performance and the reliability of the engine that we built in the last episode. And let's go ahead and simulate. Car repairs are finished. Good. Simulate a little bit of time. We're also scouting some drivers. Even though both of our drivers are solid, I do want to possibly look at bringing in 1 or 2 drivers that have much better potential. Now let's see here. Saris Young is the one that got fully scouted, and it looks like she is at best a 2-star, which both of our drivers are already 2 stars, so we're not even going to worry about her. She's not somebody that we really want to bring on. She might be somebody that we'd use as like a backup driver, but we're not looking for that right now. We do have a few more sponsors available. Now these guys are these the per race? Yeah, these are the race bonus sponsors. Let's check them out. 5th place, 8th place, 9th place. This 9th place bonus really isn't all that bad. 450 and 750 up front. However, that's for 8 more races, which we have 9 left this season. So that would be through the rest of the season minus 1 race. The rest of these would go into next season, which I don't really want to mess with too much. Chan Industries, we might consider you guys. Let's take a look at the fixed payments though. $1 million up front, $500,000 up front, and neither one of those are really all that great. Then we have Chic Airways here, who are willing to give us $450,000 up front and $85,000 for each race, regardless of where we finish, and that's only going to be for 4 races. That would be a total of what, 60, 32, somewhere right around 770,000 bucks. And it would only be for 4 races, so that's actually not horrible. However, that 85,000 is pretty weak. What we're gonna do, we're gonna hold off until we get a little bit closer. Even though the race is in 10 days, we're still gonna kind of hold off a little bit. And we should have the engine is going to be finished being designed tomorrow. Let's check out our parts. So the last engine that we built is at 26 right now, which again, not great, but it's so much better than the prior 2 engines that we had. And then it's also at 65 reliability, which isn't great, but it's not horrible either. We're going to leave those there. Let's go ahead and simulate 1 more day. And then we will work on the engine. That's going to be done tomorrow. They always tell us the results of like the major races, even though I don't really care about the results. I'm focused so much on our own division and our own races. I don't really care about the upper tiers right now. So yeah, engine's done. As we can see here, there it is, 56, which is nice, not bad. We, however, need to majorly improve the engine's reliability before the next race. It says here it's not going to be done. It's not going to be at 100% until 20 days after the race. We have 10 days to go, so I'm hoping we can at least get that up to about 60. If we can get that up to 60, I will consider using it in the race. If not, then one of our drivers will probably just have to use one of these horrible engines over here. However, we're gonna invest all of our time in increasing the reliability of that engine. That being said, let's take a look at the calendar real quick. Engine build finished, designing engine finished, all that is good. Not much is actually going to go on. We're going to scout one more driver. It looks like we're going to scout 2 more drivers before we actually race, which that can wait. Most of those drivers, there's nothing really. Once we scout them, it's not pertinent that we sign them or anything like that, so that can kind of hold off. I did want to check out something though. Let's look at possibly designing another part. I'm thinking what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to do the gearbox now. Brakes are also important. However, I feel like the gearbox is probably the second most important. I mean, I guess they're all very important, but you know what? We're going to focus on the gearbox. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do, let's say, reliability, no. Acceleration, yes. We're going to focus on acceleration. We cannot focus on any good qualities because this is the first gearbox that we are building. So Wayne is going to focus on that. That's going to cost us $1 million. And we're down to just over 12, actually just under 13. That is going to take how long? 10 days and 22 hours. Not bad, actually. That's going to be done just after the race. So that we'll have plenty of time to get that part much improved. Let's go ahead and continue simulating. We'll be able to check out the scouting report on whichever driver that was. And we are now going to spend the rest of the day traveling to Munich. Actually, real quick, let's check out the scouting report. So we already looked at Saris. Wasn't all that great. Not impressed. Ooh. Wow. Okay. 3 stars. Full 3 stars already, and the potential to have another half star. And it looks like your smoothness is absolutely awesome. Braking is not bad. Cornering solid. Overtaking too. Looks like you have some sort of a trait there, which is nice. Alright, you know what? You are actually a pretty solid driver. I like that. I like that a lot. What do you have here? You have 1 temporary trait, which is the marketability, plus 40. And everything else is permanent. The driver does not mind if they aren't given every newly designed part. Excellent. Aggressive, really good at overtaking. You know what? Oh, man. Let's approach. I'm definitely interested. What are you looking for? Oh my god, that's expensive though. You want $323,000 per race. That is... I don't think that's something that we're willing to offer right now. $323,000 per race. Let's check out our drivers right now. See, he's making 220. And then Faith is making 184, so pretty much that driver would be making double what Faith is making right now. Even though the other driver is better. I don't know if she's twice as good as Faith. Let's check out the third scouted driver. Also pretty solid, 2.5 though. You know what, not worth it, especially because you don't have any potential. Oh man, that sucks. I'm really interested in possibly bringing in Falco here to be one of our main drivers, especially 26 years old, solid driver, gonna get a little bit better too. The smoothness I really like, because the smoothness means that the tire wear won't be nearly as drastic as it is with a few other drivers. You are going to be on our radar. Falco, we are very interested in possibly having you join NoSlack Racing. That being said, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to simulate. And what are we going to do here? 13th or above. Let's check out our sponsors too. We have these 3 offers here, which, you know what, I think what we're going to do, we're just going to accept the Chic Airways. That is the best offer that we have right now. And then let's go over here, and this is going to be 10 races, 12 races, 8 races. We are going to go ahead, we're going to accept this one. 750,000 bucks. 450 per race. We'll go ahead and accept that. All of our race sponsors are full up until 4 races from now. That will kind of help us out too with the income per race. Let's go ahead and continue. And should we accept 13th or above or 9th or above. Which one should we accept? Real quick, before we make a decision, I want to see what the status of our engine is. It's only at 50%. I don't think I can run that engine, because I'm positive, almost without a doubt, I'm pretty positive we're gonna have to do repairs on that. Even though if we end up using, see, if we use this one 77, we probably wouldn't have to do repairs. But I wonder if the 56 performance one outweighs the two, even considering we're gonna have to definitely do 1, maybe 2 repairs on this one. You know what, let's just take a chance. What we're gonna do, we're gonna risk it. We're gonna use the good engine. Hopefully we only have to do 1 repair tops on it. That being said, if we use the good engine, let's go ahead and take a chance, and let's actually go with this Y-Chan Industries and try to finish. No, you know what, no, we're gonna take it a little bit. We're gonna use the good engine, but we're only going to shoot for 13th or above. Let's go ahead and fit these parts. We are going to give, let's see, rules risk, nothing. We are going to use, doesn't matter who has which brakes, we're going to go ahead, we're going to give Andre here the best engine, and then Faith can have the second best. Doesn't matter as far as the front wing, the gearbox also really doesn't matter all that much. We're going to actually, yeah, we're going to keep it the way that is. Rear wing also doesn't really matter, same part, same reliability, all that's the same. Suspension, fine. Let's go ahead and jump into practice. Now, it seems like you guys have enjoyed the first episode of Motorsport Manager. It's got over 1,000 views, got plenty of likes, over 150 last time I checked. Hasn't even been up 12 hours, so I'm very happy with that. I will definitely continue the series. I will do, without a doubt, I'll finish out this season. And then depending on what you guys think of the first season, I will most likely jump into the second season. Unless you guys are absolutely sick and tired of this and you guys don't want to see anymore, then there's a small chance that I might not continue. But I'm about 80% positive that we will have a second season of Motorsport Madness. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the practice. We have Andre Gomes, Faith Anthony, bam bam. Let's go ahead and set up their vehicles. And again, same old story as last time. What we're going to do is we're going to try to kind of manipulate their settings and go towards the very edge of what the mechanic is recommending, and then we can move from there. Now it is raining, right? 59 degrees, it is raining, there's going to be some water. We're going to use the intermittent tires. We're going to go with that for Andre. For Faith, do a little bit more adjusting. Looks like she needs a little bit more tweaking than Andre did. We're going to be good there on handling, and then I think let's kind of push this to the limit over there. Also on intermittent tires, beautiful. Let's go. Take practice. What we're going to do, we're going to pause, send out Andre, use the same stuff that we had set up just a second ago. Send out Faith, same settings that we had a second ago. And let's see what kind of knowledge they bring back. And again, we're going to just try to get their vehicles to around 90-95% reliability. If we get better than that, awesome. If not, hey, I'm going to be satisfied with, you know, in the low 90s. Now, what I think we're going to do 1 lap, get them a little bit of information. So Andre left first, so let's make sure he is on his out lap. This is going to be his official lap. Once he finishes this lap, actually, you know what? No, we're going to bring them in both right now. And that way we'll probably have, instead of just having 1 more tuning session, we'll probably have 2. And then I can almost guarantee that if we have the 2 full tuning sessions, we'll be able to get into the mid 90s. Alright, looks like Gomez is in. He didn't like his setup all that much. He's at 72%, which is he's good with the speed balance. So let's go ahead. Let's do something like this. We're gonna just move it ever so slightly because it seems like the sweet spot is gonna be right here. Handling, we're gonna go ahead and risk that being solid over there. Then the downforce is like where we're gonna really need to make the biggest adjustment. I think let's go ahead and go with that for now. We'll send you back out ASAP. And then let's check out Faith Anthony's setup here. She is 29%, so she really doesn't like her setup whatsoever. The downforce needs major adjustments. The handling, I think that might actually be solid because she's on good. That might move it into great or maybe even amazing. And then with the gear ratios, let's take a chance and go a little bit further. Let's do something like that. And we're going to send you out ASAP as well. Now again, they're both going to do this out lap, which is obviously it's not like a possibility for the fastest lap because they were leaving the pits, all that good stuff. Now once they both pass the start finish line, then we're going to bring them in. We're going to do like the one more tuning setup, and then we're going to try to get them out as soon as possible, and then that will give us 2 for this practice session. They're going to hit the straightaway here. And we're going to call them back. Beautiful. Come on in, guys. We'll do one more tuning session, and then we can have you go out for the rest of the practice. I don't know. Is it going to rain for the actual race? Sometimes the race is like the next day, and sometimes it's 2 days away, and the weather can vary. For the most part, it seems like if it rains on the practice day, it doesn't really rain again on the actual race day. And that's not speaking just from race number 1. That's speaking based off of, I don't know, maybe like the 15 or 20 races that I've actually run. Now Gomez here now is at 92, which is solid. We are okay with 92, but I want to adjust it just a little bit more. Downforce, I'm not quite sure. Maybe let's go a little bit that way. The handling is going to have to get adjusted ever so slightly. Let's go with something like that, and then the gear ratios can get moved. The speed balance is something that I want to move just a little bit, and hopefully that will jump into amazing. Hopefully downforce and speed jump into amazing, and then the handling goes into at least great. We're going to go ahead, we're going to check that out, and we're going to send you out for the rest of the race. Alright, looks like Faith Anthony's excellent on 1. She went up to 47, so she's excellent on handling now. However, stayed very poor on the other 2. So the downforce is going to need a major kick. What we're going to do is we're going to do something like that. Speed balance as well is going to be a major adjustment. And then the handling we want to keep pretty much where it was. Oh, that's good there. So this will definitely be a better setup. I'm going to go ahead and guess that at least it'll jump into good. The downforce and the speed balance will both jump into good. Let's send her out, and they're going to do the last 4 minutes of the practice session out there, and we'll see what kind of a qualifying time. It's not really qualifying. It doesn't determine where you are in the positioning. I'm pretty sure that the way that the European Racing Series does it is if you are the #1 driver in the standings, you start at the very back. If you're dead last in the standings, you start off in the pole position, #1. I'm about 99% confident that that's how it works in pretty much every single race. That being said, what are we? I think our drivers are like 4th and 5th from the bottom total, I think. Again, not 100% positive with that, but I know they're not dead last. And I know they're really nowhere near the top either. 30 seconds to go. I really want to improve on this race. I think we have to finish 13th or better, right? Depending on how the engine performs on Gomez's car, I think we actually have a shot of possibly getting that 13th spot. And it's all gonna really depend on the part reliability. Which, to be honest with you, our parts aren't nearly as reliable as I'd like for them to be. But at the same time, there's no sense in really super focusing on the reliability when we're just going to be creating new parts pretty much every 2 to 3 weeks. That gearbox that we're designing right now is only going to take about 11 days. And then after that, I think we're going to just jump right into designing yet another gearbox. So, alright, let's check this out. Race day. And it is raining, so we actually will be probably starting off on either intermittent or the wet tires. No clue how long it's actually going to rain. Looks like the first 2 laps are going to be rain. And it doesn't look like the rain is going to really stick around all that long. However, that could be deceiving. You only have these 2 perks, so we're going to go with that. You as well. And let's check out the car setup. Ooh, yeah, yours is awesome. 98%. That is fantastic. You are very, very, very happy with your speed balance. You know what? And I'm tempted to maybe, I'm tempted to move it just a slight hair over, but try to get that into excellent. But I really don't want to mess with these 2. So I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to leave that the way that is. That being said, like I said, 2 laps. And then it's going to be sunny, so I think it's actually going to dry up. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off on medium. And we're going to really hope that it stops raining and that the water on the track goes away in the first like 2 or 3 laps. 12 laps of fuel is going to be good, 29 laps total, so we should be able to get away with not switching our tires more than once. That is something that might happen, but we're going to have to keep an eye out on that. Now, Faith's setup did improve all the way from 47 to 74. However, the speed balance and the downforce, not really where we want them to be. I'm going to go ahead and take a risk and move the downforce all the way down here. The speed balance, we are also going to move pretty far down. And then we're going to try to get the handling back to where that was. That looks decent there. Speed balance, downforce is closer to where Gomez has his. We're also going to go with the medium tires and a full 12 lap tank of gas. And as always, we're going to start off on pretty aggressive. And let's go. Let's start this. Yes, we're going to confirm that. And I'm hoping we're not. See, look, we're not the only team. These other guys are starting off on the soft tires. So the fact we're starting off on medium, I'm actually perfectly good with that. I think we made the right call. So we're starting 6th and 7th. Not bad. The rain should be going away. Really no new information there. Let's go ahead and speed up time. Gomez is making a little bit of a push, which is really nice to see. Hopefully, they just both got passed up. Gomez got passed up by his own teammate, and now he just retaliated against Faith. And I'm thinking we're going to give them another lap or so, and then we're going to kind of back off on the aggressiveness a little bit. We should, however, have at least about 12 laps worth of tires. So I'm not going to really pit until both vehicles need fuel. So one of them is going to have to pit a lane earlier, which I'm going to go with the one that's in the further... No, we're not pitting for intermittent tires. Come on. Or intermediate or intermedial or whatever they're called. The person that's in the further back position, so it looks like Anthony's going to be further back. We're going to have her pit a lap sooner than Gomez. In hopes that it will kind of help us set up our pit stops for the rest of the race. Alright, let's kind of back off here a little bit. We're going to lower both of those there. We're going to lower this, and you know what, since Anthony's going to be pitting a little bit sooner, I think what we're going to do, we're going to keep her on the overtake aggressiveness as far as the fuel burning. Gomez just got passed up, and it looks like he might actually get passed up here by Anthony. They are 7th and 8th right now. Gomez and Anthony respectively, 7th and 8th. Both of their tires are wearing out about the same. Fuel-wise, Anthony has less, which is actually decent because we're going to have her pit sooner if things stay the way that they are right now. And there's a small chance we might switch over to softs, but it is going to get sunny. Looks like it's going to get pretty hot too. So we might want to switch over here about 6 laps to the soft tires. If we do switch over to the softs though, we will definitely have to pit one more time as far as changing the tires. Now somebody already went into the pits. Looks like they just switched, they're on softs. They both pitted. And they are Mello and Sabato. They're still in the pit, so it looks like they had some sort of mechanical issues, and they stayed on the medium tires, which is a little surprising. We were at 69 degrees, and it looks like the water on the track is going to go completely away. Gomez is in 5th, Anthony is in 8th. We have, okay, we could definitely lower both of their tire styles, or the driving styles for their tire wear. Gomez, don't get passed up. Come on, man. Gets in the 5th and then loses it right back. Goes in the 7th. Not cool, not cool. Let's do, I'm going to say let's do 2 more laps for Anthony and 3 more laps for Gomez. Hopefully in those 3 laps, the guys ahead of us, they will pit. Looks like the top 6 racers are all on soft tires. And they will definitely be having to pit here in about the next 2, maybe 3 laps. Oh, it looks like Anthony just passed up Gomez. But she's too far gone with the fuel. So she's definitely going to be pitting first, even though she is ahead of Gomez right now. As a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower her fuel to medium. And I will have her do 1 more lap, and then she can come in after that. Let's focus a little bit more on Anthony. Alright, so as soon as she passes the finish line, she should still have 1 full lap worth of fuel. She does. Beautiful. Alright, let's go ahead and instruct her to pit. She is going to, let's see, we have 21 laps remaining. I think we're just going to have her switch over to the medium tires. We will go to full tank, I guess. Which there's 20 laps remaining. We'll do 12. How are parts looking? Parts are looking okay. The engine could maybe use a little bit of work, but we're gonna actually hold off on that, and we are good to go there. Then once she pits, we will actually instruct Gomez to pit as well. 1 lap later, however. And it looks like Anthony's probably gonna be pitting at the same time as like the first 4 racers as well. So it looks like the top 5 are all going to be pitting right now. 2 pit. Okay, so no, not everybody. Anthony is in pit lane though, and we can tell Gomez here to bump up his fuel strategy a little bit. And you are going to pit as well. We're going to give you the medium tires, and we're going to bump up your fuel all the way. And parts are looking. The engine is looking horrible. We have to fix the engine. It was at 36%. Actually, so it only really went down 14%, however, we're going to have to fix it. And that's going to bump up your pit time from 14 seconds all the way to 30. But there's really nothing we can do about that. We have to. And then we might have to fix your gearbox here a little bit later too. Let's go ahead and schedule that. Let's follow Gomez. Alright, Anthony is still in pit lane. Looks like somebody messed up on the tires, and that cost us 8 seconds, which that absolutely sucks. But you're in okay position. Your tires are fresh, you've got 12 laps of fuel, and you should be good to go. So Anthony's looking solid. Not upset about that whatsoever. I mean, I'm upset about the 8-second failure on the tires, but, you know, not much we can do about that. Looks like Gomez's team is doing okay. Let's hope they don't mess up on the repairs. And they didn't. Good. So Gomez was in there for 30 seconds, and that was with an engine fix. And now let's go ahead and actually lower his fuel strategy. We'll do high. And then, you know what, let's do high over here on Anthony's as well. But we're going to keep, I want to say we're going to keep the tires at the way that they are right now. Actually, we could go a little bit aggressive because I do want to get to the point where for the last maybe 5 or 6 laps we switch over to the soft tires, just because they are faster. They'll give us a little bit more grip, and they'll help us hopefully finish off the race a little bit faster. Well, let's see, we're in 15th and 16th right now. Let's go ahead and check out Anthony since she's ahead by 1 spot. Not really all that. Well, I mean, I guess she's definitely in striking distance of like the next 3 vehicles. Looks like she's about 3, 4, and 5 seconds within actually a 9th place. So, you know, if one of those guys has to pit, which it looks like 9th place is gonna have to pit here in the next maybe 3 or 4 laps, and then everybody's gonna pretty much have to pit one more time. We just gotta hope that some of the 14 racers ahead of us are gonna have some sort of mechanical failures, and they're gonna have to pit for changes, pretty much like Gomez did with his engine. Tires are looking okay for both of them. Fuel is also looking okay. They're both right around the same position where it comes to the tire wear and the fuel. You gotta keep in mind Gomez pitted 1 lap later, so it makes sense that his tires are a little less worn and his fuel is a little bit higher. I wouldn't really be happy with 15th and 16th place. I mean, I believe that's probably right around where we should finish, but I want to finish at least 13th just to be able to get that sponsorship money. Anthony is in 14th now, so she should be able to kind of maneuver her way up, hopefully. Let's take a look at the weather real quick. Weather forecast is going to pretty much stay the same. It actually is going to start raining again. So I'm pretty glad that I started looking at that. And then we might finish off the race needing to use the inters. Looks like we have another 1 lap to go before it starts raining. Probably 2 laps to go before we want to switch over. Which means we could probably push our tires a little bit more. If we do that, you know what, we're going to keep the fuel the way it is right now. We're going to try to do about 2 more laps. And then we'll switch over to the inters. Just because it makes no sense to pit right now, because we have more than 12 laps to go and our fuel tank only carries 12 laps worth of fuel. So there's no reason for us to pit until we have 12 or less laps to go. Now it does say that there's 12 laps remaining, but that is for the race leader, which we are not. So as of right now there's 12 laps to go. So we're going to pit one of these guys. Anthony is in the better position as far as probably being able to win the race, and it looks like it is going to storm later on, so it's actually, we're probably going to switch over to wets. I think, yeah, let's go ahead and tell Anthony to pit. You are going to switch over to wets, which we have 12 laps remaining. Those will last you the rest of the race, no problem. There's going to be 11 laps remaining once you pit, so we'll give you the full 12. And then, oh man, looks like parts are going to be a little dodgy there. Part of me wants to maybe, okay, we're at 13 seconds. Part of me wants to maybe just fix everything, but that's going to be that's going to be close to a minute. That is not, no, that's not something I really want to do right now. Oh man, the suspension probably needs to get fixed. The gearbox as well. Let's do one. We're going to do the suspension and then hope the gearbox and the engine last. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This is for Anthony. And then we will adjust her to have medium on everything. And we'll just try to have her finish off the race. Kind of like do a stamina run the rest of the race. So she should be pitting right now. Good. And now we can tell Gomez to come in. He's going to come in. Let's double check the weather. Yeah, it's definitely going to be horrible rain the rest of the way through. So we're going to do wets. We're going to give him full fuel as well. And then let's check out your engine. Oh man, you need work. Your engine and your gearbox here. So you're going to be in there for 46 seconds. That's absolutely horrible. But nothing we can really do about that. Please tell me. Okay. You know what? Tires should have been switched. Oh, this better switch over. Okay, good. Yeah, Faith is on wets now. Gomez is going to pit. We're going to switch him over to wets. And they both should be good for the rest of the race. They shouldn't need to refuel. They definitely shouldn't need to replace their tires. Now, we could actually bump up Faith's push attack her driving style, because the tires do have, I want to say, what is it, 14 to 16 laps, and there's only 12 or 11 laps remaining, so you can definitely wear out those tires a little bit faster. We do have excess fuel, but that's something I'm going to save until probably the last 3 laps of the race or so. So again, we're going to bump up your driving style to push as well. And you have 11.78 laps worth of fuel. Let's kind of bump that up. And let's see where this takes us for the rest of the race. Now, a few people are still going to have to pit. Ja is in first. Van Anen is in third. And then Chu is in fifth. They will each have to pit at least one time. Well, probably just one time for the rest of the race. So that could help us catch up, even though we are about a minute 30, minute 40 seconds behind them. So I doubt that we're going to be able to catch up too much. Looks like all 3 of those guys that I mentioned earlier pitted. Ja's already out. He dropped down to third, and then the others also dropped down a few spots. It's not really going to allow us much, ability to move up into the top, let's say 10 or anything like that. We're in 14th and 15th right now, and it looks like we're pretty much, barring somebody having some sort of mechanical failure, we are going to be stuck at around 14th and 15th for the rest of the race. We've got 7 laps to go, and I don't think anybody's really going to have to pit again unless, again, they have some sort of mechanical failures. Now, what sucks is that we're 1 spot below and we just got lapped by first place. We're 1 spot below our sponsor objective. So if one of those guys could just kind of bump up, that would be absolutely awesome. Let's actually try to have Gomez. Let's have him do overtake on the engine mode and see if he can maybe find his way up to 13th. Which means, first off, he'd have to pass one of his teammates. Which I'm a little surprised he's not able to, seeing as how he has a better engine. And when I say better, it's twice as good. Now, I mean, twice as good as really, really crappy doesn't make you awesome. It just makes you crappy. But, let's see here. Gomez should definitely be able to pass her up. And we might be able to order Anthony, but then that's going to give us like a morale decrease and all that stuff. So I think what we're going to do, we're just going to stick with it. Now, it says here that Anthony does have some sort of condition. Oh yeah, look at that. She's 27 on the gearbox and she's 32% on her engine. She's probably going to have to pit here. Let's just have her pit. And that'll actually give Gomez a chance to... We're going to keep her on the tires. We've got 6 to 8 laps left on those. There's 4 laps remaining. We're going to keep her on the 5. So all we'll do is let's fix the engine as well as the gearbox, and everything else is just going to have to make it through the rest of the race. Now let's check Gomez real quick. Engine is also pretty crappy. The suspension, I want to say that is, right? Suspension is also pretty crappy there, but we're going to try to make it the rest of the race with how we're set up. Because Gomez right now is really our only hope for finishing 13th or better. Even though Van Anen, who's in 13th right now, is a good 34 seconds ahead of us. 29 seconds ahead of us now, so we are catching up a little bit. Actually, I'm thinking we're probably going to have to cut his strategy down a little bit just because of his parts. I'd rather take 14th than like 18th, you know? Tires will keep the way they are. And actually, tires will do a full attack. However, the engine mode, we're just going to keep it on medium. Because his engine, 35%. His engine's not going to make it if we push it too much. You'll be fine on your tires. You're at 45% with 2 laps to go. Actually, he's only on lap 26, but there's no way he's going to be able to actually do the full 29 laps. Seeing as how Beauchamp is on his last lap now. See, so we're in 14th and 17th. Let's go check out Gomez real quick. What are the chances of him catching up to 13th? Absolutely 0. None. No chance of catching up. We have to improve our parts. That is like the #1 priority in this first season, is just improving not only the reliability but is actually building the best parts that we could possibly build and actually getting them up to a solid performance number. Because then when we carry them over into the next season, you know, we're going to start off with those parts, and then once we do improve, we're just going to improve on those parts. So if we finish the season with an engine that's, let's say, 100, the next engine that we build in season 2 will be probably around like 150, 160, and then we'll just keep going from there. So race number 2 is over, guys. We finished 14th and 17th, so pretty disappointing. 14th is right where I expect us. I was hoping for a little bit better than 17th. Unfortunately, I just don't think our vehicles right now are in a good enough position to compete, which is like I feel like I'm a parrot. I'm just repeating the same thing over and over. Our cars suck, our parts suck. That's what we have to work on for the rest of the season. Drop down to 9th, we're 24 points. So, I mean, we're right where I think our owner expects us, maybe a place higher. Let's take a look at the gearbox, right? That's what we're designing right now. That should be done here in the next day. And then we'll just focus on improving the gearbox. That's going to be finished here tomorrow, and then we'll also worry about the engine. And that's pretty much going to be our main focus. We'll also start developing another gearbox, but actually, you know what? It might be worth just putting the absolute best parts into one driver's vehicle. Let's take a look. Okay, so we lost $839,000. That makes sense. You know what? With us losing money per race too, that just gives us more incentive to have one car that's going to be able to actually meet those sponsorship goals. So what I think I want to do, we have the gearbox built, which is nice. Let's check that out. Fit parts, we're going to check that out real quick. We have the engine, that's a 56. Now we have a new gearbox, that's 34. I think what we want to work on is brakes or suspension next. Let's go ahead and probably do... What do we need for this next race? The next race is in 24 days at Milan. Let's see here. What's important? Top speed is important, which is the engine, the deceleration, which is the brakes, and then the high speed corner. So pretty much the engine, the brakes, and the suspension are the most important thing. Let's go ahead and work on the brakes. We're going to try to design a set of brakes right now. Deceleration 25 plus 25 to max. Let's go ahead and do that. And then what we're gonna do, that's gonna cost us $500,000. We're just gonna put the best parts into, I want to say, Gomez's vehicle. Let's go ahead and simulate 1 day forward. Our car conditions deteriorated pretty badly. We have an interview here with the Evening Herald, which I hope they don't ask us any crappy questions. Andre Gomez has claimed that your brakes seem to be holding the team back. Absolutely, they are holding us back, which is why we're actually developing new brakes right now. But let's see, I have to hold on my hands. Our brakes are awful. He needs to button it, and we need more investments into our HQ. This is going to make our chairman less happy. He needs to button it. I'm pretty sure we'll make his morale go down, which I do not want to do, especially considering we're going to be putting the best parts into his vehicle. I have to hold up that. That's going to lower... You know what, we're going to do that. Our team market, the marketability went down 10%. However, that's not horrible because we actually don't have any sponsorship slots open for at least 3 races. So we're just going to go ahead and let's check out the, actually no, we're going to go ahead and simulate 1 day. It's going to give us a chance to repair our vehicle. And now we can improve our parts. So what I think, let's see, reliability wise, we have the engine in there. We are going to throw the gearbox in there too, because that is our newest part. And then we're going to try to get those pretty close to being race worthy here in the next 23 days. Anyways, that is it for this episode, guys. Stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to progress up to race number 3, which is the Milan Grand Prix. That is in 23 days. And we'll also start working on some new parts. We'll get those parts improved. And you know what? I'm also thinking we might try to hire that jaw guy. You know what? And we are scouting him, aren't we? Let's see. Where is he? Real quick. Tony J, or not? Is it Tony Jaw? Racing Series, European Racing Series. Where, oh where are you, buddy? Here we go, Tanvir Jha. We are scouting him. However, he is probably in the queue somewhere. You know what, let's Scott Price, go bye-bye. Okay, yeah, he's definitely in there. I kind of would like to move him up though. Let's get rid of this. We'll get rid of some of these guys. You're only 7 days away, so we're gonna keep you there. Tanvir Jha, you are gonna be scouted. You'll be done in 15 days. So next video, we'll also check out where Tanvir Jha stands, and if he is a solid driver. Actually, he's 39 years old. He's probably going to retire, so he might not be worth picking up the rest of the season. But we'll figure all that out in the next episode, guys. Hopefully you guys liked this episode. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.